the BRICS plus nations increasing their investments in Venezuela. Today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Recently, we had a meeting of the representatives of the BRICS plus nations group. This is not their annual summit that is going to be in Russia. This was just a briefing meeting that we had, of course, in Russia as well, in the city of Nizhny Novgorod, and it's mostly about representatives, the red tape of the organization, if you please. In this particular meeting, they were discussing, of course, the state of affairs of different members, but also some of the members that apply in order to join formally the BRICS Plus group in years to come. And actually, Venezuela, of course, is one of those members. Actually, Venezuela had a delegation on this particular meeting. The Venezuelan Chancellor, Minister of Foreign Affairs, visited, and he had a presence on this particular meeting. And at first, this particular meeting for Venezuela seemed to be like a nothing burger. Nothing, substantial will be held from this particular meeting. However, the results were surprisingly good. Just a few days afterwards, after the meeting, the President Maduro, he mentioned that the Venezuelan delegation, they were able to secure investments from the BRICS Plus group, and actually they already have some presence. These particular investments already have been capitalizing within the country. And the investments goes to the usual suspects regarding industries. Of course, the oil industry is going to be number one by far, but also regarding mining, manufacturing, and commerce. But apparently, this is the biggest thing, this is the biggest stake regarding this particular summit, is that this particular BRICS plus nations ecosystem, they will be sharing first tech, something like the SWIFT system, the banking system that connects all the banks. That, of course, this is a Western invention. And apparently the BRICS, they are going to have their own particular platform as well, or at least share each particular platform. For instance, you have SIPs in China, you have the MIR in Russia, that actually Venezuela also has it, and a handful of those particular regional platforms. And not only for banking and finance, but other systems as well. So apparently BRICS nations, the BRICS plus nations, are looking to intertwine their own economies. And remember, when you add up the GDP of each economy in the BRICS plus group, and also the pledge to become members as well, you have a significant share of the world's GDP. And actually, right now, several of the BRICS plus nations have a significant presence in Venezuela. Of course, we have to talk about Russia and China. Both have significant presence in Venezuela. A handful of Chinese companies already have presence in Venezuela on oil, manufacturing, you name it. But also Russian companies as well. We have the big Russian oil companies like Rosneft, Gazprom, Lukoil, but also in other endeavors besides oil, Russia has presence in the country. But the most significant, and this comes from the past 5 to 6 years, is India. Actually, India has a very good relationship with the Venezuelan markets. They have been investing, of course, yet again, on crude oil and petrochemicals and that kind of thing. But different Indian initiatives in the country regarding mining, infrastructure, and other particular endeavors have been materializing within the Venezuelan economy. So since the past 5 to 6 years, India has become the portal of the Venezuelan economy to the rest of the Asian market. That's a position that China was supposed to play within the Venezuelan ecosystem and economics and infrastructure. However, India is taking that place on the past few years. Another nation that is heavily investing in Venezuela is Turkey. I know that Turkey is not officially a member of the BRICS Plus. However, the Turkish government and actually the Turkish economy has a great relationship with all of the main players within the BRICS Plus. Turkey has a great relationship with Russia, with China, with India, and basically the rest of the BRICS Plus. At the same token, they have a good relationship with Western nations. So Turkey, of course, has become very interesting regarding worldwide politics, geopolitics, but also on economics and investing. So Turkey has a significant presence. Turkish investments have a significant presence within the Venezuelan market on the past 7 years, something of that nature. So very interesting. And that helps in order to create this particular new ecosystem around BRICS Plus nations. And one of the discussions right now regarding the BRICS ecosystem, let's call it like that, just for the sake of the conversation, is the decision of Saudi Arabia that they will accept other currencies besides the US dollar in order to pay for their oil shipments. And this is something that right now is creating, an earthquake. Is a big buzzword all over the world, especially on the financial world, that Saudi is not going to sell their crude oil on USD. Now, this is something that, of course, creates opportunities for the BRICS Plus nations. Apparently, the Saudis are accepting renminbis or yuans, the Chinese currency, in order to pay for oil shipments, and some other nations they will have the possibility of paying oil shipments on their own currency. However, that doesn't mean that the US dollar is going to get completely replaced by emerging economies currencies. I mean, you have to take this with a grain of salt. That is not great for the US dollar. However, it's going to be a gradual process of transition, and that doesn't mean that the US dollar is not going to be important in the next decade or so. It's just maybe not going to be as important, and using other currencies from these emerging markets is going to create more of a hedge for these particular countries with dubious political and human rights records. I mean, I'm not going to get too much on the politics, but since the special military operation in Ukraine and the sanctions against the Russian economy, of course, these particular countries are creating, maybe a hedge, an insurance on their particular operations, that they want to avoid a situation similar to the Russian economy. Now, is Venezuela joining the BRICS group formally this year? Well, this is something that we still have to wait for the annual official BRICS Plus summit that will be, of course, in Russia as well. And the possibilities of Venezuela joining the BRICS Plus are great. Maybe not for this year, but still they are great. Remember, Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserve in the world, and also another commodities, but also the geography, the position, the synergy that you have in Venezuela, and the potential is far, far great. And also we have to wait for the election here in the country on July 28th. So it's going to be just several weeks before the BRICS summit. So they will make their decision back then, presume. And regardless of the outcome on such election, both candidates, they say that Maduro, he wanted pretty badly to join the BRICS Plus, and most likely eventually will happen. Now, if the other candidate, Mundo González Urrutia, joins the BRICS group, I mean, Venezuela, he becomes the president of Venezuela, he will be joining the BRICS Plus. He said that apparently he will. Edmundo González Urrutia is more of a Western ally, so US, the European Union, G7, you can paint the picture. However, he said that he will have good relationship with China, Russia, and actually the nations on the BRICS Plus. So at the end, we just have to wait first for the election on July 28, and afterwards the official summit of the BRICS Plus that will be in Russia later this year.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.